Hafide and welcome to Weekend Edition. I'm Isa Baza, glad you could join us. The long-awaited rules and regulations for medicinal marijuana in Guam are once again completed by the Department of Public Health and will soon be going up for a public hearing. Here's more. After the last iteration of rules and regulations for the island's medicinal marijuana program went up in smoke last year, Public Health will soon be seeking public comments on the latest rules and regulations completed by the Division of Environmental Health. Public Health Director James Gillen confirmed a public hearing will be announced in the coming weeks.
It's 150 pages, so we're back to this about the same number of pages that we had in the initial one that the Division of Environmental Health had drafted, along with the help of the Attorney General.
Following the hearing, the draft rules and regulations will be submitted to the Attorney General's office and then to the Governor and Legislature for final approval. But while the program is one step closer to implementation, Gillen said he still has reservations with the existing law.
And I think that, that's what disappoints us, is the amount of time that it's taking to get this done. There are many people who would say that this current law is a better version of the initial law. I kind of disagree because it's very open-ended.
One example is the fact physicians are able to write medicinal marijuana prescriptions for any condition they deem fit. While Gillen questioned how the Medicinal Marijuana Commission can decide whether or not to approve additional conditions if the majority are not practicing physicians. He added the lab is another concern, saying he's been told by industry experts that funding a lab would cost at least $1 million. He said one solution could be additional borrowing.
We're looking at, I think, $400 an ounce, okay, which is below the street price. And if you're getting 2 ounces a month, okay, that's $800 times 12 times 3,000 patients. Okay, so the 2 ounces are their equivalent. So let's say $800. So that's a lot of money. You do the math. And if you take the GRT and a percentage of that, we could pay that off in a fairly short period.
Another option, expanding to patients from Japan.
They were estimating, given the numbers that they already experienced, about 20,000 people could potentially be, availing themselves of the service. And I don't see any other way to make this work as long as it's only a medicinal model.
He said once the rules and regulations are in place, the lab is the next major hurdle in the implementation of Guam's medicinal marijuana program. Freshman Senator Will Castro hopes to amend Guam's current Good Samaritan Law. Castro says the amendments give people assurances they can take in order to save a life. It also requires a general duty to act by at least calling 911.
The intent of the bill is to bring us all back to the table to assure the general public, people like you and me, that if there's a compelling need to save a life, whether it's human or an animal, that you can act responsibly to do whatever is necessary and within reason to save the life. That's it.
Castro used an example of incidents of parents leaving children in their cars, a life-threatening situation that raises question for concern. Bill 195 amends Guam's current Good Samaritan Law so that residents may not be discouraged from sustaining and saving a life in dire need of intervention for fear of being prosecuted by the law.
A litigious environment where people are afraid to take action because of the threat of a lawsuit or retaliation. That's the reality of the society we live in now. And so I'm hoping that this legislation will give a sense of comfort and a legal veil to those who choose to act when attempting to save a life.
Signed into law last week, the legislation that will allow for Sinomai drivers to exchange their valid driver's licenses for a Guam driver's license will soon be processed by the Department of Revenue and Taxation.
The staff needed additional time to be able to promulgate or put into effect by rule and procedure the necessary things to ensure a smooth and fairly smooth process. So we're very encouraged by that. So I think a few more days is a small price to pay in time for the decades that have gone by where in these provisions were to me, artificial barriers.
Senator Will Castro says he's met with DRT officials to discuss the transition. The law states you must be a U.S. citizen at least 18 years of age and must have had a driver's license for more than 1 year. Additionally, when making the exchange, CNMI drivers must also comply with the Real ID Act. The village of Barrigada and Guam's foster children are that much closer to receiving a special gift. Our KUAM's Valerie Maige has the story.
It's been in the making since 2011, and earlier this week, the First Lady's Regalu Foundation broke ground on the Department of Public Health's foster care home. First Lady Christine Calvo, who spearheaded the project, gave an emotional and heartfelt thank you to all those involved.
Today, we break ground for a building that will bring hope, security, comfort to the most vulnerable among us, our foster children. Since the day I met the children from the Elise shelter with Sister Bridget, I will never forget the feeling I had. And thinking, perhaps the good Lord placed this responsibility in my heart. When this project was just a glimmer in my heart, I did not know how I would make it happen. And I was so blessed because I was able to get the help.
The project was a long time coming. At one point, officials were not even sure if they had the land to build the home, but soon after, the Chamorro Land Trust Commission selected the land in Barrigada for the facility. Director for the Department of Public Health and Social Services, James Gillen, says on average, his agency receives 70 referrals a week. That's 10 foster care referrals a day.
We can no longer stick our heads in the sand and say, it's okay, public health will take care of it. No, it takes everybody to take care of these kids. We'll give them the best that we can. We'll treat them just like any other kid on this island. And that was the major thrust, to give them a home that doesn't look like an orphanage, that's not stacking kids and warehousing kids, and make them part of the community, get them involved in the education system, do all of the things to make them feel not like the other. They are us, they're part of our community.
Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio was a foster child himself, and he had this message.
Your past doesn't have to be your future. That you can outlive and outrun and outwork and outthink all the things that made you a foster child or be able to find yourself in a dismal condition.
The home is expected to be completed on July 9th, 2018. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Valerie Maige.
Thanks, Valerie. Personnel from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency will be on island beginning Monday, October 16th to Friday, October 20th. They will be conducting national enforcement training for staff members from the Guam EPA, Guam Fire Department, Guam Police Department, and the U.S. Coast Guard Sector Guam. For GIPA, training is agency-wide and is scheduled to take place from 8 to 5 p.m. As a result, their services will be limited during this time frame. According to GIPA Administrator Walter Leon Guerrero, the training provides a great opportunity to interact with national counterparts, enhance operations, and manage environmental compliance and enforcement issues more effectively. This marks the first time that GIPA will receive inspector training certification from the U.S. EPA. The U.S. EPA will certify local regulatory agency attendees in areas such as inspection planning, principles of inspection and enforcement, ethics, documentation, data management, investigation, and case development. Dozens of students at Juan M. Guerrero Elementary School learned about nutrition and were treated to tasty smoothies made with fruits and vegetables during Child Nutrition Day this week. Here's more. Students learned about juicing and nutrition at the home of the Dolphins in Harmon during the annual Chef and Child Nutrition Outreach this week. In fact, they could be seen lining up for seconds to get their daily dose of vegetables.
Some kids went back again because they love it, but they don't really have any much idea that we're putting more kale on it. So it's kind of funny. They're like, I like this.
Global Food Services chef Karen Kittigwa said the annual event is hosted by the American Culinary Foundation in collaboration with Farm to Table Guam. It teaches children about juicing in an effort to educate them about childhood nutrition and obesity.
Benefits are like, for example, like fruits. It's antioxidants. It helps us with our skin. Reduce stress. For the little kids, they're not really into they don't really have any stress, but just eating fruits and vegetables provide vitamin A, vitamin D, different kinds of minerals.
Querigua said eating fruits and vegetables also helps prevent against sickness.
Chef Clay Y.
Meanwhile, Chef Clayton Y from Jamaican Grill also stressed they need to reduce the amount of sugary box drinks and preservatives children consume, warning of adverse health effects in the long run. JM Guerrero Principal Melissa Limo.
They're really animated, really got the kids involved, and just talking to the kids about nutrition. And I think having a whole bunch of chefs here coming together to teach the kids is really important.
This is our third time to do the Chef and Child, and it's always fulfilling.
The National Park Service has named Barbara Alberti Superintendent of War in the Pacific National Historic Park in Guam and American Memorial Park in the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. Alberti previously served as the park's superintendent from 2009 to 2013. According to Regional Director for the Park Service's Pacific West Region, Laura Joss, quote, Barbara's strong collaborative leadership skills and deep knowledge of the park makes her well suited for the position, end quote. Alberti will arrive in Guam in January. Stay tuned. Next on Weekend Edition, we'll rehash some of the big stories of the past week, and still to come, the Guam Crime Stoppers report.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming of KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens, it's a beautiful day. We rely on the people we trust, it's a beautiful, who we can always count on. And the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need. It's a beautiful day. Wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, health care that's always there for you.
At IT&E and get double data on the network that gives you more.
Advances in technique and medications used to prevent dental pain have shattered the myth that a dental visit is something to fear. Even the dreaded root canal or wisdom tooth extraction. Swabbing or spraying a topical numbing agent on before the injection, and using different techniques and anesthetics can create a relatively comfortable or pain-free injection. Injections are often the most feared procedure. Some patients don't like the sounds or the vibrations of decay removal. If you're still nervous or you gag easily, despite these techniques, very safe oral medicines can be taken before your dental appointment to eliminate all fears, or some clinics use nitrous oxide gas. Pain relievers can easily be prescribed to eliminate mild to severe dental discomfort after any visit. For your Helpful Dental Minute, I'm Dr. Kenny Bourgeois of Paradise Smiles. We shall never know all the good that a simple smile can do.
Confident. Welcome back to Weekend Edition. This is Rehash, where we recap some of the big stories of the week. And so, Crystal, you covered one of the big stories from the courts.
Oh, yes. So, longtime University of Guam professor Dr. Michael Eller was sentenced in court this week. And that was 1.5 years in jail to be followed by 3 years parole. And actually, this is kind of a steal of a deal considering, one, he won't be heading to the Department of Corrections just yet. And two, he actually, in fact, faced up to 16 years behind bars. If you recall earlier this year, he was convicted by a Superior Court jury, and they found him guilty of one, attempted sexual assault, attempted criminal sexual conduct for one female, and then sexual assault for the second female. But even though three women actually came out and accused him, but only, again, two convictions, two of those females were resulted in convictions. Again, 1.5 years behind bars with 3 years parole, but he won't be heading again to DOC just yet. He'll remain on house arrest because he's anticipated to make his appeal. And in court this week, he actually addressed the court, and it was very emotional for him. He actually started almost tearing up, and he said that, you know, he fully anticipates the day he'll be fully exonerated. He's not remorseful at all. He doesn't believe he did it. He's innocent in his eyes, so we'll see how this unravels.
Definitely remember watching that emotional story that you wrote earlier this week. And so, Val, what's the latest from the legislature?
So, Senator Fernando Esteves is now under, well, he may be under investigation. An ethics complaint has been filed against him with the Guam resident Barry Mead. So if you remember, September 23rd, I believe, there was a protest that happened in front of the Anderson Air Force Base, and Senator Esteves was there. He joined in a human chain blocking traffic, and the complaint stems from that. Mr. Mead believes that he should not have done that. There are better ways to protest what's happening. And for the record, Mr. Mead has said, I totally support the purpose of what's happening with the Latexan issue, but they could have protested a lot better. And so that investigation or that complaint will be forwarded to the Ethics Committee. And if you remember, KUAM also brought you, he's still under investigation with the Guam Army National Guard. He's a sergeant with the 1st 294th Infantry Battalion, and so he's under investigation, and so far they haven't uncovered the details with regard to that investigation at this time. So, unfortunate news. But.
As far as education, there's been a lot of back and forth between the Department of Education and the charter schools recently, so there were a lot of issues with the opening of schools, especially for one charter school in particular. And so this has brought on some concerns about the budget and financial accountability, also financial sustainability for at least one charter school which has over-enrolled and which may be facing some budget shortfalls next year. And so a work session was held between DOE and the Charter Council, and they discussed a lot of these concerns and possibly delinking their budgets, and also definitely implementing some more financial controls, because the charter schools receive roughly $8 million in public funds, but they're not really held to the same standards or the same mandates that DOE is held to. So DOE has an internal audit office. So we'll kind of see where these discussions go. I know Senator Joe San Augustine has introduced legislation that could help with some of these issues, but we'll have to see if that makes it to the floor. And so something we spend a lot of our time doing, social media. Asha.
Okay, so October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So for social media, more geared towards Facebook, we added a frame. So you can go on Facebook, go to your photo settings, and there's a add frame button. Just click on that. It's a Think Pink filter, so just add that to support your awareness.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks so much. Of course, if you have any news tips for us, just email us at reporters@kuam.com.
It's Hyundai's Kick Off the Savings event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Score big, save big with the all-new redesigned Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. Gain those extra yards with up to 45 miles per gallon highway and an introductory savings of $4,500. Or check out Guam's best offensive line, like a new Accent starting at $11,995 or the new Elantra starting at $16,995. How about the new Tucson starting at $19,995? Plus, every new Hyundai gets Guam's best warranty. It's Hyundai's Kick Off the Savings event at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adaki Itano program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Kidzas Maasi, Matson.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you breaking news, turning to Mia in the field.
Thank you, Isa. We're interviewing athletes preparing for something big. We're getting ready for the Guam Coco Kids Fun Run on Saturday, October 28th at Evehow Beach. Can you tell us a bit about your trip?
It's fun because you get to run and you get to exercise a lot.
What are you excited for?
The cool t-shirt.
I'm excited for all the medals that they're going to give for the Coco Kids race.
I'm looking forward to the carnival. I'm looking forward to all the games and the prizes.
I'm looking forward to run on the beach.
And so aside from all the bouncers.
When you know what you want and you want it great, look no further than Ruby Tuesday's new Steakhouse Sensations menu. Choose from a 20-ounce dry aged prime bone-in ribeye or an 8-ounce filet mignon tenderloin. Either steak seared to your preference and served with 2 specialty sides like Denancy mashed potatoes, grilled asparagus, or roasted Brussels sprouts. Enjoy surf and turf and add a succulent lobster tail or tender grilled salmon filet to complete your meal. This plus a whole lot more. It's Steakhouse Sensations for a limited time and only at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
It's back and bigger than ever. The big deal is going on now at Triple J. 0 down, 1.9% financing plus a $500 Kmart gift certificate. Save big with deals like the Ford F-150 at $266 per paycheck, the Mazda CX-3 at $154, the Kia Optima at $169 per paycheck, or the Honda Accord at $193 per paycheck. Stop by today or visit us online at triplejguam.com and see print ads for details. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. Triple J, 33 years of putting customers first.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Community involvement is something that the Guam Police Department is stressing heavily as a means of solving crimes. They have said many, many times it's their job to make sure that they investigate kind of weird going-ons in our community, but they need our help. So Officer Paul Tapao is here, and we are talking about what we can do to make your job that much faster so that you can keep us safe.
Yeah, absolutely. On a serious note of everything about the community involvement, this is a time where we need the community's help. And you're going to hear in the package shortly about 2 events that happened at within the village of Barragata, and this is actually what we call almost attempted murder because the families were in their homes and their house was intentionally set on fire. So we're asking anybody in the community or everybody in the community to please give us information to the Crime Stoppers hotline at 477-HELP. Call it in if you want to call directly to the police. 472-9811, or visit our website at guam.crimestoppersweb.com because this is a horrific crime and we want to put a stop to this and we want to bring justice to the victims of the homes.
Now, there might be some people watching this right now that says, I passed through the area, I saw something that looked kind of weird, or I've only got like a little bit of information. It might be too silly or not enough for you guys. But you say when GPD does investigations and everything, you consider all leads.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing like it's too silly or it may not be enough or it's too minute. Any information that we can get a description of the individuals responsible, time and frame, where they were running from, where they were headed to. It's really important because it puts us in a general area. We can actually ping that location and say, okay, let's work from here. What do we have here? And it's that crucial information that we need. And, we're reaching out to the community members, especially the members of the Barragata proper, that if you saw or you heard something within the hours of 5 a.m. on Wednesday, September 27, even before that, if you saw something strange or you saw something out of the ordinary, people walking down the street, please give us a call and we can help put and bring justice to the victims that are suffering in this case.
All right, well, here is the full information about this crime.
On Wednesday, September 27, officers from the Higatnya Precinct Command and firefighters from the Barragata Fire Station responded to two separate structure fires that occurred at Atacao Avenue and San Vicente Drive in Barragata. At around 5 a.m., officers from the Higatnya Precinct Command received a call from 911 dispatch of a possible structure house fire at house number 210 on Atacao Avenue, Barragata. As officers were at the scene at around 5:35 in the morning, officers received information from 911 of a second structure house fire at house number 102 San Vicente Drive in Barragata. Now, based on preliminary investigations, it was determined that both structure fires were initially set by unknown individuals. Now, the Guam Police Department, the Guam Fire Department, and the Guam Crime Stoppers are reaching out to the community as the families affected by this crime need your help. We are asking if anyone has any information about these two cases, please call our 24-hour hotline at 477-HELP or submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. All calls and tip information will remain anonymous, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid if the information provided leads to an arrest and a grand jury indictment. Your call does make a difference. If you have any information about this case, please call the Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP or text 688-STOP. You can also visit our webpage at www.guam.crimestoppersweb.com or call the Guam Police Department at 475-8615 6 or 7. Guam Crime Stoppers wants to remind the public that we do not use caller ID and you do not have to leave your name. You can receive a cash reward of up to $1,000 if the information provided leads to the arrest and conviction for the person or persons responsible for this crime or any other crime.
All right, Paul, as always, we appreciate it. So what's the number and the website where people can get in touch with you?
Okay, the Guam Crime Stoppers 24-hour hotline, please utilize that. It's 477-HELP. That's 4357. The internet or the website is guam.crimestoppersweb.com. Or if you want to call the Guam Police Department, 472-9811, 475-8615, 6 through 7.
All right, thank you much.
Thanks for having me again.
All right, please stay tuned, everyone. We're back after this.
Take on any road with intuitive all-wheel drive, the Nissan Murano, Rogue, and Pathfinder.
Let's welcome the first-time parents, the people with the dream to be their own boss. Let's welcome the things that inspire us, connect us. Let's welcome the college graduations, new beginnings, and happy ever afters. At Bank of Hawaii, we'd like to welcome you to all the new adventures, the next chapters, and all the great things you have to look forward to. Welcome to tomorrow. Bank of Hawaii.
It's Hyundai's Kick Off the Savings event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Score big, save big with the all-new redesigned Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. Gain those extra yards with up to 45 miles per gallon highway and an introductory savings of $4,500. Or check out Guam's best offensive line, like a new Accent starting at $11,995 or the new Elantra starting at $16,995. How about the new Tucson starting at $19,995? Plus, every new Hyundai gets Guam's best warranty. It's Hyundai's Kick Off the Savings event at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Activate a new account at ITNE and get double data on the network that gives you more.
How does tourism work for Guam? Half a day!
Half a day!
Tourism tax dollars fund improvements around our island. Tourism helps maintain our community centers and public parks.
Tourism dollars are invested where it counts, promoting village shops and locally made products.
Tourism keeps the spirit of our past alive through restoration of historical sites. Tourism supports environmental efforts that protect our natural resources. Tourism improves our quality of life. It helps make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Tourism works for Guam.
How's and welcome back. Before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy birthday, Jasmine Wenzel. Love the entire family. And a big happy birthday to Jordana. Love your friends and family. Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. That's all the time we have from all of us here at Guam's News Network. Thanks for watching and have a safe weekend.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
How's-a-day? I'm Peter Duenas, corporate chef and owner of Mezcla Restaurants. Join me in my quest for culinary inspiration and some of the best flavors around. This is my food obsession. Just got into Osaka, Japan. Change some money and get some yen. We're gonna take a train and head over to Namba, where we'll be staying. Namba is known as the kitchen of Japan, so we're looking forward to a great trip, great food. Come with us and let's check it out. We are in food lovers heaven. Of course, Namba is known for their nightlife, their shopping, entertainment. But if you're a food lover like me, it's the place to be. We're here at the Doltonbury here in Namba, and I'm telling you, there's wall-to-wall restaurants. Everywhere you look, food galore. But tonight, we have our sights on yakitori.